and welcome to How to Start a Board Game Company. I'm Jay Cormier from Off the Page Games. Now, today is the day before my Kickstarter launches. So, you can't tell, but I am going a little wacky in the head right now because I've got a lot of stuff to do. But I want to take a few minutes just to kind of catch everybody up of where we're at, what's happening, what have I done in the last few days, what do I have to make sure is ready before tomorrow when I press launch. Now, first and foremost is, and I mentioned this before when we were running through the Kickstarter, you have to get your Kickstarter approved way before this time. So don't click now to say, okay, submit for a review, because that might take a few days and that would be very frustrating. So make sure you can review. I reviewed mine a month ago, so make sure you get it reviewed so that you don't have that hiccup. Now, what have I been doing? Mainly, I've been doing a lot of updating of the Kickstarter page, just over and over again, just going through it, trying to get it as refined as possible and trying to figure out what the best flow is. And then what you can do is you can actually, in the preview up in the top left corner, you can click and you can see a new link here where you can send that link out to specific people that you want to preview. And so this is actually, they have access to kind of check out the preview page of your Kickstarter, and they can give you comments and leave it here on the page right off to the right, or obviously email you or Facebook post wherever you posted it and can comment and give you suggestions. And I strongly recommend doing this. There's definitely a bunch of Facebook groups that I belong to that have helped me out as far as giving feedback and suggestions and thoughts and whatnot, so that's great. We got the final video in, so that went in there. That I posted out as a post to kind of get some attention to the project that the video is done, and I think it's I love the video. I've watched it many times. I added so much to the Kickstarter page. The GIFs had too much motion in them, so I had my animator kind of clean them up and simplify them, make them quicker to load. I changed all the headers and fonts. I had this weird glow around it. Someone noticed that glow did not feel on brand to Mind Management, which is a very crisp and clean look to all their fonts. So I cleaned that up, made that look crisp and clean. And then I added even some art from in the game to the headers, which I think really helps kind of add a little bit more personality and like make it stand out a little bit more, and even a bit more color to the page. So I like that. I added links to a media kit. I think that's kind of a cool idea. I saw it in another campaign where people can get avatars. They want to change their social media icons out, or just even other imagery that they want to use in social posts. They can do that. So I think that's kind of cool. I added a link for a print and play, so I had to make that kind of tidy it up and make my print and play ready. Game trays finally came in, so this was awesome. They went above and beyond. Everything looks so amazing. They gave me some animations to show how awesome this little fold-out wallet is. There's still more to the game trays than what you can see here, and so they said possibly by tonight, and hopefully by tonight, I'll have even one more image I can add in here that shows the rest of the kind of components that go in the or insert that goes in the box from game trays. So that's pretty amazing. And then what else I've been doing? I've been continuing to do a lot of marketing. So just always posting stuff on Facebook and Twitter and even a bit of Instagram. I'm not as good at that, but I'm trying to get better at that. I had another demo. I had an ambassador who demoed it at a store in Toronto. And so I had to make up a prototype for that person and then mail that out, and then they had to they demoed it. Michael Chang demoed that in Toronto, which is fantastic. Had people come out in the store to demo it, so that's really cool. Anything to get word out. And then I found out that Matt Kint has some connections and was able to get a few cool things that are going to be coming from a marketing perspective. So, and this is super weird, just so weird and cool, but Matt Kint has arranged through his contacts to get an ad or an article, probably more an article, for this Kickstarter in the Hollywood Reporter. So that's going to be launching tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. as well as my Kickstarter, is this article in the Hollywood Reporter about this Kickstarter. That's so cool. Also really cool is Matt Kint has a comic going on right now with Dark Horse called Bang, which is super popular. It's sold out of its first print run already of issue 1, which is on the stands now. And then they're going for another print run. Issue 2 is coming out March 18th. And in issue 2, there's going to be I believe, a full page ad, maybe a half page, for this game, for this Kickstarter game in the comic book. How cool is that? So a lot of really cool connections and real weird marketing ideas that are coming out. So this is awesome. And then also, as far as marketing, I've just been blindly emailing any website that looks related. Anybody that does comics or games, I think that might be newsworthy, that this is a cool game. And I'm not getting tons of traction, but once in a while I've seen a few of my articles have kind of like made it through my press release, and like, oh cool, somebody actually posted some information about that. That's great. So I think it's worth it, because people, it didn't take me tons of time, but it is a bit frustrating, because it's I need more skill in creating a press release, I think, and in contacting news places, because you have to make it sound like this is something that people want to read. And I probably made it sound too much like, hey, I've got a game coming out on Kickstarter, and that's like next. I can imagine somebody like, yeah, how many emails do I get from this, so about this? So anyways, that's something I can work on, but it was still fun. What else I've been doing? I've been creating a lot of stuff that I'm going to be needing tomorrow. Like I created my day one email. I'm going to try to send an email to a lot of my personal contacts, and so I got a bit of a form template, but then I'm going to personalize it as much as I can. Just send it out to friends and family, kind of talking to them about this project and what it's meant to me for the last year that I've been working on the project, and the last 3-4 years I've been working on the game. And then also the first update, I kind of created the skeleton of the first update. So that's a bit easier for me to kind of get out. I mean, obviously it's just a skeleton, because I don't know how good or bad the day is going to be, so I don't know. And even the FAQ, I started already typing out the FAQ. As an FYI, you cannot add your FAQ until you've gone live, which is kind of a weird thing, I guess, because they're not frequently asked yet, I guess is the idea. So how can you have an FAQ? But you can kind of assume what some of the questions might be, so that's what I'm doing, and I'm going to add them. It doesn't hurt to have a super long FAQ, I don't think, as long as they're important questions being asked and answered. So we'll see. I also signed up for Google Analytics. I had my Kickstarter consultant, Helena Capel, who's on my team, awesome, to walk me through what Google Analytics is all about. I never used it before. So when I did my Fail Faster journal last year, I never used Google Analytics, and I just didn't understand it, or didn't know how it worked or what I had to do. But it was pretty straightforward, actually. You go through, sign up for Google Analytics, which is free to sign up for it. And once you kind of jump through all their little hoops, which are tiny hoops actually, you get a little code. Then you go back to the Kickstarter page, and right here is where you paste in your code. So then you can just go to your Google Analytic dashboard, and you can follow along all the traffic and what's happening and where people are coming. You can get reference codes from Kickstarter once you launch. You can't get that before you launch. But then you can give that out to places that you've done ads with, and then when they click on those ads, that reference code is going to be attached to it, and so the Google Analytics will track that. So that's pretty cool. And speaking of ads, I spent a bit of time signing up to some BGG ads, and so this was pretty interesting and important, but I probably should have done it a little bit earlier than the day before. But yesterday I was working on all the different ad sizes. They have 4 different sizes that they need for their ads. And what's great about them is that they will accept multiple versions and do some kind of A/B testing internally, and just kind of whatever one's kind of giving you the most clicks, they'll push that one up higher and make that one more frequent, or the base one. So that's kind of cool. So I made a bunch of different ads for each size, and we'll see how they work. Some of them are a bit weird. Hopefully eye-catching is the idea, literally. I had to complete the contest that ended last night. So I had to, communicate with the winner that they won and post it on my social media that they won. I had to then grab all of the emails from that contest and add it to my mail list. And then through MailChimp is what I'm using, create a, hey, everybody, my campaign is live message with imagery and the right messages and stuff like that. And that's going to go out one of the first ones. After I press submit, I'm going to go back to my MailChimp, submit to make the Kickstarter campaign live. I'm going to then go into my MailChimp and then send this message out to everybody, so they'll get it the moment after I make it go live, so they're the first to know. Then I also spent a bit of time with my web designer. We're creating a very special, unique site that I will kind of reveal later in the campaign, but you get a sneak peek of what it is, even though it doesn't look like much. But this is going to be a super cool site that's going to be relevant for not just the campaign, but for the actual game itself. This is going to be a really interesting kind of a site. That's all I'm going to say for you right now. It's just top secret. So how am I doing? How did all this work out? So over the last 30 plus weeks since I started this whole mission to start a board game company, tomorrow's the day where we're going to see if it all worked or not. So here's some numbers on how it all tracked down. So now I'm up to 700 email subscribers to my newsletter, which is not huge, but I think it's pretty amazing considering I don't have anything out. Like I don't have any games out yet. So they're just following me based on, either things that they've seen or maybe they know me or whatever. I don't know. I have 503 Facebook followers for just this game, for Off the Page Games. That's pretty cool. 583 Twitter followers and 230 Instagram followers. A little lax on that because I don't use it as much and I probably should, but from here and there I do. And then 514 people have clicked on Tell Me When It's Live on my preview page on Kickstarter. So that's how it's all crumbled down. Now we're on to waiting for tomorrow to see what will happen. Will we fund in 1 day, 2 days, 5 days, 30 days? I decided to go with the full 30 days because it's my first campaign. I know it's a long campaign, so we'll see if I can mentally stay with it for the entire campaign because it's going to be a lot of work. Speaking of that, I got to get back to it, so thank you so much, and we'll hopefully see you tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.